Welcome back to the Dividend Diplomats YouTube channel. You got your boys here, Bert, the Hurt, and Lanny, the best damn dividend investing channel out here in all of social media, guys. Filming out here on a vacation with the fam, so apologize on the noise slash background, but we are talking about two stocks that I'm potentially going to sell that are actually in gain positions and possibly moving the proceeds into SCHD to increase dividends and increase and improve that growth.
Smash that subscribe button, everyone. Give this video a thumbs up. We're going to see, can Lanny increase his income by dumping these two loser stocks? Let's jump right in here, Lanny.
Let's go. All right, guys. So we're going to rip the Band-Aid here. There's, a certain stock that has had a great 2025 so far, up almost 12+%, up over 20% since last year. The second stock is actually rebounding pretty well over the last month or so, coming down from the 70s, 80s, back up to almost, I think as of right now, at the timing of this video, over $100 a share. So really looking to possibly exit both. Both are small positions. Consider small, kind of around $1,000 or less. And then moving these proceeds into SCHD. So Bert, that first stock, it's going to be hilarious because nobody ever talks about it, but it's the Gap, ticker symbol GAP.
Yeah, it's hilarious because no one talks about it, but they do have a huge retail presence between Gap, Old Navy. From there, they cover a lot of different spectrum. I think Banana Republic too, right? Like that's in the portfolio. Yep. Massive retail. Everyone has them. They serve brands for all different families, all different types of consumers. So you've owned them, Lanny. You have a pretty decent sized position in them, correct?
Yeah, we have. It's in my wife's portfolio because, again, she likes Banana Republic. And heck, I know the babies have always been in and out of Gap, clothing a lot, Old Navy clothing a lot. So, but yeah, we have about $1,100 position, have owned it for a while in her portfolio. We have a slight unrealized gain of just under $200. Okay. But let's look at the DD stock metrics, Bert.
Yeah. All right. That price here is 26.43. Forward earnings are 235. That gives you a PE ratio of 11.25x. All right. All right.
Yeah. So, again, it shows signs of undervaluation, again, a retail stock. So not sure if the earnings expectations are bullish from Seeking Alpha. And again, the stock prices are as of May 15th close. Now, dividends per year is about 66 cents. Comes out to a 28%, extremely safe dividend payout ratio. Yeah. But we do have to make a note that they actually suspended their dividend during COVID. It was at 24.25 per quarter. And they actually, when they finally brought it back, they brought it back at half of that, at 12 cents.
Okay, so it's a more conservative one. They're working back towards it. So you see that 1 year dividend growth that they're having. It's back at 12%. At 12 cents. Now it's at 16.5. So you saw a nice 10% plus increase in there, but it's still down from where it was. So the journey back to dividend growth is there. It just started, but it still has a way to go before it gets to the pre-COVID levels.
Now, Bert, I know we mentioned that they're up 12% this year, up over 21% since last year. So what's that current dividend yield look like?
2.5%. So it's not a bad dividend yield. But you talked about moving it into an SCHD earlier. That yield growth isn't quite there from a standpoint with SCHD. Right.
Yeah, again, $10 billion in market cap. Already said it, but just under $1,100 in market value, just under $200 in unrealized gains. But Bert, there's a second stock we mentioned.
And NetApp, ticker symbol NTAP. All right, they are actually, unlike Gap, they are down. They're down 14% year to date, down 9% over the last 52 weeks. Let's see how they stack up in the rest of that screener here, Lanny.
Let's do it, guys. So again, trading at just under $100 a share. EPS projections are 7.23, so that P is just at about 14.
Okay, their dividends $2.08. That's a payout ratio of 29%.
Yeah, again, another low payout ratio. But we'll get into that. Again, it's a safe dividend payment, but increasing the dividend is not what they typically do. Again, they're in the AI, cloud storage, computing space a little bit here. So they increase the dividend every once in a while. They did increase it, I believe, in 2024. So they have a 1 year growth history streak. And the 5 year average is actually only 1.67%.
All right. Their yield, 2.08%. So lower than Gap. Interesting here. And again, that's over 2% because they are down 14% year to date and down 9% over the last 52 weeks.
Yeah, and they're 20 billion in market cap. Again, in my portfolio, and actually I probably need to include my wife's position as well. She actually does a small one, but this is just mine. Is $451 with an unrealized gain of 240. So almost all of it is a gain.
Yeah.
Over 100% gain on the stock. And again, it's small, so even if it doubles again, it's
$800.
900
Yeah.
bucks. So it's like
What's the point?
great, but cool, like cool story. Um,
Yeah, so that gives
so
you 11
yeah, go ahead.
1100 with Gap. 1100 with Gap, 450 with NTAP. So that's $1,549 total. Annual dividend income that you're receiving between the two, Lanny, $36.82, or a blended yield of 2.38%.
Yeah, so blended yield there. Whereas if I move all of that, $1,550 into SCHD, I would actually have the dividend from that would be about $61. So you're improving by about $24 plus on the dividend front. The yield improves by 156 basis points on that. And the dividend growth, I couldn't even calculate it because it's almost incalculable with the gaps freeze plus cut. So it's just trumps, even if Gap just had a 10% increase, it dwarfs any growth rate that they've experienced.
Yeah, and who really knows what Gap's forward growth rate's going to be because they're going to have a tariff issue to work through. Because all those cheap old Navy clothes are going to become a little bit more expensive. So they have a lot to manage. They're probably not going to be able to boost up their dividend 10 to 15%. Again.
Right. So guys, let me know what you think. Again, I have the capital losses to offset the capital gains here. Again, we're looking at approximately $400+ in gains. What would you do? Would you sell out of these positions, simplifying the portfolio, and move right into SCHD? Let us know in those comments, guys. Again, exiting Gap, exiting NTAP.
If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Give this video a thumbs up. And remember, you're either with us or you're against us, Jack.
That was Bert and Landy from the Dividend Diplomats. Over and out.